Goodness,
Live.
this December 18th masterclass is about to change how we house our homeless veterans forever. We're talking real estate investing that actually serves our heroes while building your wealth. This isn't just another real estate course, it's your chance to learn from the pro and make a real difference. December 18th, live masterclass. Don't miss this. Join live Thursday, December 18th, 2025. Tap to save your seat.
Ooh, I made that today because it's come up so fast. I'm like, good grief, it's already time for that master class. I've never done a master class like everybody. You see, you take these folks master classes, and I've never created a master class. I've created classroom classes, and I've created workshops and seminars, and but never a master class. And this took a whole new dynamic. This stretched me. Just the intro of 22 plus years of working in this homeless veterans community. And there is not one class that I could offer anybody that can teach you everything I've learned over the years that are still relevant in today's community of homeless veterans. And I look around and I just shake my head. I say, I'm a realtor, right? And I've been housing homeless veterans as a real estate um, as a real estate um, agent, broker for uh, over 22 years as a realtor, housing veterans through transition to rental, home ownership, becoming investors and business owners. How much is the class? It depends on what you do. So I've got three levels. So if you are in my group, and that means you've purchased the book, you get to come to that class for free, because that means you have taken that dedication to learning the way I teach you. And the way I teach you is to become um, a government provider and not just waiting for a phone call from a social worker. Because those social workers, they come and they go. This is the book I wrote to teach social workers how to work effectively in the community with homeless veterans. And some providers get lucky. They find a social worker who will pick up the phone because they sit down and listen to these homeless veterans, and they can understand their plight and where they are in life. If they have service connection, disability, if they have social security, if they have a pension, and they can self-pay to be in somebody's room. But if they don't, then that's where the government comes in. There is so much money in this community to house homeless veterans that some of the money it goes away, and that's one key rule in government funding. If organizations don't use the money, then the money won't be for them anymore. It'll go to somebody else, or if they don't use a particular um, benefit, then those benefits go away. I've seen funding providers leave the market, and I know a couple reasons why some of them left the market. I've seen social workers come and go. When you have your favorite social worker calling you all the time, and all of a sudden she or he is no longer in that position, and then that's where you dry up. Um, Let me see. Just I've seen a lot of organizations with who do real good and work really well with partners in the community. And I am a community partner, certified by the SBA and verified by the VA. These are some of my federal local, federal, state, and local certifications on the back of my books. So this community is, I was telling somebody this the other day. They're like, how can I quickly break into veterans housing? I'm like, what? How quick? Wow, that was a, I couldn't even begin a conversation because it's too much. There's no quick way of breaking into um, veterans housing, especially when it comes to government funding. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the subject matter expert on veterans homelessness and housing. I'm one of the writers for Mission Roll Call. So please go to Mission Roll Call website and type in my name and read my articles there regarding veterans homelessness and housing. We can do so much in our communities to house homeless veterans as concerned citizens, because you learn how veterans go about seeking out their benefits, and you learn how you can help them acquire those benefits. You can be you could be someone in the church, you could be someone at a community organization, even at the VFW. You can be someone, I don't know, you're in a sorority or fraternity. If you have, and I asked my insurance agent, my insurance broker, I said, Charles, you have an insurance agency right there on 87th Street, right there where people can walk in and they can speak to you, they can say hi, they're right there in your face. I said, what if a homeless veteran walked into your place, and what would you do? And he said, well, Yvette, all I could do is offer them, some coffee or or some money, whatever. But yeah, yeah. So he wasn't equipped, and that's the same. That's the same. Hold on, let me grab this video. That's the same response I get from the realtors community. And I'm a realtor, and I have been housing homeless veterans as a real estate broker. First, I started as a sales agent, then our titles changed to broker, associate broker. So anyway, but I've been housing the homeless veterans 22 plus years. And I'm just going to show y'all something that I really want to help my community, but I don't know how to start. I know. Well, you're going to start here with me, and I do have the books for you to go buy so you can learn. Hold on a second. Let me flip this camera around. I educate you. Oh, here it is.
A lot of realtors are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not.
I do not, but I would like to know how.
The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran, and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Okay. We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class, and it'll be out soon.
The class will be out soon because the book is already out. So that's no excuse for a realtor not to pick up a book and read it and learn how to house homeless veterans. My coach had to get me straight. This is the book I wrote for realtors, right? Hold on. And this class was approved by the IDFPR. That's the Illinois Department of Financial Rules and Regulations. professional regulations. And it was also approved as a 3-hour CE class. But when I did my pilot class of this book, 3 hours was not enough. Because if you are a realtor, you've never, ever housed a homeless veteran, then peak traffic on AI clips, I don't know what that means. Then you need to learn from ground zero. And ground zero is the in this book. I take you from ground zero in this book to helping veterans buy houses from homeless through their transition, because I teach you how to go into the community and find housing that homeless veterans need. What type of housing does a homeless veteran need? Anybody answer that question for me. What type of housing what type of housing do you provide? If you provide hold on, this lady just had me to sell her my last book, and then I had to order some more. Hold on, here is one. So homeless veterans need all types of housing, first of all. And I wrote this book right here. Hold on a second. Media assets. Okay, here you go. I wrote this book. This book came out #1 on top new releases on Amazon. And it came out top new release in the United States Veterans History category. So this book is so needed in the community. And I wrote this book because I see, what people are doing. And if we're to really make an impact in our community, then we need to use the money that's circulating in our community that has been awarded to 411 organizations that pay the rent for these veterans. So these organizations have a duty based on that grant to use to pay for various things. Housing is the #1 thing. That's why the grants were created. Over $900 million in grants. And then you have for those who I help graduate and keep their supportive shared living model homes, but graduate to the next type of housing that a veteran would need to go to. Let me see. I am champion. Is there funding to fix up properties? Okay, a lot of people want to just come into this business and then just start making money. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So get the books. Please read the books. And that's going to help you walk through step by step by step. But yeah, that answer to that is the VA going to give you funding unless you have a contract, unless you are a government contractor, with the cage code and with past performance, and you bid on a contract and you win that contract, and that contract says, okay, this is what we want you to do, and we're going to give you this money to do it. So that's a whole nother process, and it's not this, but it's in the back of the book. So you have to read the book to get to the back of the book, so you'll know how to use what you have created in order to get government funding. Because government funding just doesn't come to you just because you say, I want to start housing homeless veterans. There has to be what's called one thing, and that's not even all encompassing past performance. It's a lot to go and try to even unpack that question, because you got to start from the beginning. People always ask me that. I had another group ask me that. Well, they need the VA, they need housing so bad. Why don't they just pay people to do it? Well, they do. They do pay people to do it, but you have to create your avenues so that you can get paid. And that's it. That's to become a government contractor. That's what I keep saying. Maybe I'm not saying it clear enough. That's what all this money is in the green folder. So housing homeless veterans from homeless. I've got, let me see if y'all can see this right here. Yep, you can. From homeless to at risk. Let me see. Let me move my camera down. Okay. Homeless to at risk, because they might just need some money to move somewhere, but they're homeless, then they need someplace transitional. So this is the ladder that I take veterans all the way up to and help proprietors, business owners do the same thing. Because just you say, I'm housing homeless veterans. Okay, that's wonderful. But how are you helping them transition from your transitional housing? How are you helping them transition in life? Period. That's a program. And when you create the correct program, that's when you can start utilizing government funding. So from homeless, forget about at risk right now, because that's going to take funding to keep them there from one of these funding sources. To homeless to transitional housing. Who in the community is offering transitional housing, who can partner with any of these 411 organizations to take on those veterans out of homelessness and get them into their transitional housing unit? How have you partnered how have you set up your business to be able to become a partner and receive those funds from that organization that already has the grants? So now they're in your transitional housing. And now look, they got to transition out of that, because through your program and through the programs of these organizations, veterans have a lot of benefits. And these benefits are federal. I talk about this every day now. They're federal. So go download this federal benefits guidebook. Go to va.gov/get started. And I would say a rule of thumb before you come on to see me, have something to write and to write with. So federal benefits, we receive state benefits, which are in addition to and separate from the federal benefits. And these are all benefits that can help guide a veteran from homelessness through transition to a rental unit to home ownership, to becoming an investor, because now they become a homeowner. Shoot, they might want to buy a 2, 3, or 4 unit building to help do the same thing in the community, housing transitional veterans through programs. So what is your housing going to look like? That's a question. So I have some questions. I don't know what I have over here on YouTube. I have some pretty pink hearts. Thank you so much for the pink hearts. Great show. The conversation truly matters to our veterans. I hope it matters to you too. Because everybody says, oh, we shouldn't have homeless veterans, but don't want to take the time to really get into the details. Whatever your business is, that you may be, love the real world experience being shaped. So valuable. Okay. Thank you for educating the community with clarity and heart. You're welcome. And then hello over here on TikTok. So anyway, I have my first master class. And like I was saying, I've been an educator. I got a master's degree, and I taught at the college level. I wrote programs and curriculums for the college level and for business owners and in real estate. So, but I have never put a master class together outside of my books being master classes themselves. And when I can figure out how to put this in a class format where you can just click, I'm going to do that. Until then, just get the book. Now, this is information that I have been, I don't even want to say hoarding because I haven't been hoarding anything. I've been at the VA, inside the walls of the VA. And this book right here that I'm showing you is my third edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. And this is the exact book that I was doing the workshops and creating folders like this over and over. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Let me put that information in a book, in a guide at first. And then I'm like, that's not enough. They need more information. So then let me write a book. And that book was released, but I didn't publish that book. I was just having them printed and giving them to the veterans as I went to conduct the workshops at the VA and at city colleges and at every place else. So anyway, book number 2 came out. This is book number 2 right here. And this is the second edition. And that's the me on the back. I am the writer, the doer, and the publisher. So then the third edition came out, and I'm like, okay, that's more like it. Because veterans need to know that not being service connected is not the end of the world, but we have to start. We have to start. We have to get you there. We have to take you through. And when I say we, I don't mean me. You know, these are employees who work at the VA, who are VSOs, or who work at the DAV, or at a vet center, or somewhere where you find a VSO, or an independent VSO who, I'm not going to say it, but just you got to get your federal benefits in order to have your compensation, in order for you not to stay in that transition. When you're ready to move, you'll have something to stand on. So we really hope that you get your 100% service connection disability. So you can buy a house, you can buy a 2-unit, a 3-unit, or 4-unit. I think other parts of the country call them duplex, triplex, and quads. Whatever the case is, a veteran has access to that once they have access to their benefits. So, 22 years, right? I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans and taught 3 teams. Now, are my teams still in existence? No, because housing homeless veterans is a lot of work. And people are like, look, it takes more than just finding them someplace, because sometimes if you don't know where to look, you can't even find them someplace, because working in the community, you don't have a lot of informed leaders, informed professionals, like in my field. And I can talk about this all day, working as a realtor, housing homeless veterans. Everybody wanted to send me their homeless veteran. And still to this day, Yvette, I have a homeless veteran. I want to I don't want anything. I don't want a commission split. I just want to send you because they know it's work. It's work. You get a homeless veteran who does not have any benefits, but you still want to help this homeless veteran obtain benefits, because you know that homeless veteran could access benefits and get approved for benefits. But the person who does not know how to work with the veteran to help him or her navigate this crazy spider web, then they're going to be like, that's too much work. Okay, well, fine. Send me your homeless veteran, because guess what? I know how to navigate that crazy system. And that's what I teach you how to do in my books, and not just one, because it's a lot of work. But if you're really interested in doing the work, then get a book or 2. I just sent out 2 emails. I got to send out some more, because I am having my first masterclass blast tomorrow. This is stuff that I never talked about. It was so personal over all these years housing all these homeless veterans that it was just too personal to share. Sometimes I would share their stories here or there, but for the most part, y'all could not know who these veterans were and what they were going through. You just couldn't because it was too personal. I have veterans who I house who have their MBAs, who have their PhDs, who are, all walks of life. And I remember somebody asked me, she said, Yvette, I want to work with you, but I don't want anybody to know what I'm going through. So I asked, I said, have you ever, I said, you know what I do in the community, right? I house homeless veterans. I got a lot of awards behind me from this year, last year, previous years, on and on and on, because the real estate community know what I'm doing. So they give me awards. The state of Illinois know what I'm doing. So I get awards. The senator, I got a proclamation. Oh, y'all can't see my proclamation. I got a proclamation right here from the senator, Michael Hastings. I have another proclamation from the state of Illinois, Debbie Myers Martin, 38th district here in Illinois, South Suburb. Awards from, just from everywhere, been on TV and everything because everybody knows, but you never see them. You don't know who it is, but numbers don't lie. It was just that personal to me that I didn't, it wasn't up to me to share with any of you who these homeless veterans were who I was housing. Unless they want to be seen. If they don't want to be seen, then hey, I just housed another homeless veteran today. Whoop, 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 push it up, push them up, but y'all will never see the faces. So working in this community, this is the very first time I've ever come out publicly to educate consumers how to work in this community. You want to work with social workers? Okay. You want to work with program managers? You want to work with directors? Okay. I've done all of that. And I teach you how to do that in my books. Because one thing I know for sure in over 22 years of housing homeless veterans is they're going to keep coming. And why do they keep coming? You might ask, why? Why do they keep coming? Why doesn't it ever stop? I had an attorney, oh my God, bless his heart, attorney Mario Reed. He told me, he said, Yvette, and this was after I started selling houses to homeless veterans. And I had 4 attorneys. One of them I had to get rid of real quick because you don't respond to me, we have a problem. And then you didn't want to respond to the veteran either. Oh, we have a bigger problem. So that was only one deal. I deal with that attorney. I'm like, never again. But the other 3, 2 of them, one was only part-time. And then I had 2 more. So both of them had equal amount of work, equal amount of veteran buyers. And oh my God, bless his heart. He said, Yvette, please turn off the faucet. I'm like, I can't. It's just that many veterans. It's just that many. And these were veterans buying who used to be homeless. These were all of my former homeless veterans who had come through my program at the VA. Yes. And he was like, it's too many. So, and it's still the same thing. And the reason we have so many, thank you for the hearts. The reason we have so many homeless veterans, is because, first of all, they're not all 100% service connected disabled, meaning they don't all get a check every month. If they're not getting a check every month and they don't have an income, where do they live? Duh. They may not live anywhere, so now they're homeless. So now we have that, the veterans with no money. Then we have the veterans who are seniors still with no money. Oh God, Jesus. Then we have the young veterans who were discharged from the military with no service connection, and they don't have a job either, so they have no money. You see the trend, you see the pattern. So no money, you can't rent if you're not in a program. And then you have, let me see, who else might you have? Oh, then you have the veterans who were released from incarceration with no benefits and no money and a record. Oh my God. And then you have the veterans who are being discharged with no benefits. Man, it never stops. They're coming from all over the place. You have veterans who were professionals and lost their jobs. They have no money. Now they don't have any place to live. So it never stops. It never stops because they're coming from all over the place. You just have to be in the right area to catch them. And I was catching them. And still am. But you know, it is too much. I can't do all this because now look at here. I have, let me get this map up here properly. I don't want to knock nothing down. Okay, wait. Okay, there you go. So that's the map. That's like 38 states of where homeless veterans are, who I have personally worked with, and now advocates who have purchased my books to work with homeless veterans where they are. Because there's one thing about me that you can't ask me one question that's going to teach you everything. Because one question, I can talk about that for all day, and you'd be like, your head is going to spin. And that's why I don't do it anymore. When I try to teach somebody something, they like, oh, can you back up? Did I get this right? Can you explain that? Can you say that again? I'm like, no. Read a book. I just can't do it anymore. It wasn't when I was teaching in the classroom and I had to, what was I doing? Lecture. When I had to lecture, that's what I had to do. But now I don't have to lecture. The lecture is in the book. I want to thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for watching. Let me see. Hey, Tarita. I am champion. Do y'all have any? Oh, so I sent out emails to everybody in my TikTok group. So you should have received your email. If you are in my TikTok group, you know who you are because you bought a book and you told me you bought a book and I put you in my group. If you're over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and you have purchased one of my books or any, if you purchase any of my books, then you are in my group as well. And I have a special link for my group members that I sent out today for my masterclass. Because let me tell y'all something. You may be doing transitional housing today, but where I take you, you're going to go from, in addition to transitional housing, because you're going to be like, man, you're going to sit up and like, look at what I'm losing. Look at what more I could be doing for these people. So I teach you how to go from win-win-win to a win-win, and then to another win-win, and then maybe to another win-win-win. I mean, because all of this connects. It all connects. Because you just can't let a veteran transition um, and not, just help them out more. That's all I'm saying. It's 5:50, so that's all I have to say today. If you want to attend my master class tomorrow, then check your email. If I emailed you, if I have not emailed you, then that means you're not on my list. And if you want to get on my list, then email me. Or go to my website and it'll catch your information when you enter it, and then you'll be on my mailing list. So I'm really, really new to coming out publicly talking about this. So all of these systems that I'm creating, I got the email. Good. How do I get the book? I would like to attend your master class. You get the book in my bio. Um, get the book. Get the book in my bio. You'll have all of my information in my bio. So once you get the book and you'll already have my email, then send me a picture of you holding the book, you know, cheese, because I use those pictures to let people know. And then I need to know what city and state you're in, specifically what state, because if we might not have a state, where state are you in anyway? I am champion. Champion. Good, Tarita. You can go ahead and register for that class tomorrow. You have the um, you have the uh, Lance Taylor. Thank you. 214 people, 215 people are watching over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Thank y'all so much for being here. Housing homeless veterans, man. I don't even like thinking about it, but it is inevitable. It's inevitable. How are you going to have a 72-year-old disabled veteran who did 2 or 3 tours of duty, lose her house to deception, go to the VA for help? The VA takes months, and then she's issued a voucher. Good. Now she's issued a voucher, but she can't find any place to live because everybody is denying that voucher. Even though that voucher is a federal benefit to veterans, that federal benefit is entitled HUD VASH. Where's my book? I just had it. Dang, I just had it. I want to show y'all again. Here it is. So go to va.gov/get started. And on page 57, it talks about all of this stuff that I teach you in my books and further in my classes, in my master classes, and in my workshops. Yeah, that's what let me write that down, because I did say I'm going to change my schedule for 2026. I'm going to do more teaching in my workshops and classes. Because y'all got to get this. Man, please, they had me real good at the VA. Everybody was learning from me. Everybody. They had, but one thing I did not allow other realtors to come to my workshops that I did at the VA. Nope, I didn't, because that wasn't their place. These are my workshops at the VA. When I wrote the class, hey, hola, can I do this in Houston? I'm a veteran and have, yes. Yes, hey, Mr. Mike Jones. Yes, you can. Go to my bio, because you're going to need a lot. because this is not something simple. You already know we're military, and everything in the military takes hard work, dedication, and you have to learn it first. So I wrote a library called U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Guidebook Series. So if you go to my bio, and depending on what type of housing you want to do, because you didn't tell me that. So if you want to do transitional housing, and that's where you can start. Hold on, let me go show you that book. One moment. This book right here. And you can grab this book first. Let me take that off. This is a guide to veteran shared living models. And this book, man, I was so excited when I got the tag to say that this book was released as top new release in US military veterans history and top new release for this type of book. So go get this book, and then email me to let me know that you have that book. Take a picture holding that book and send it to me. And then I will put you um, in my group, my private group. Hold on, let me get this off. Okay. All right. This is where we are. Is this updated? Nope, this is not even updated. We are in 38 states now. So go get that book and let me know you have that. Because that's what so master classes, because y'all are really going to need those master classes, because veterans don't need to stay in a transitional housing unless you're doing transitional housing that is actually like their permanent residence in your program, because these are seniors, or this is a population that you know their next destination is life over. And you have to have a program for that too. People think, just having transitional housing is just, oh, whoop-de-doo. No, baby, you are in charge of some people doing it now. Okay, so you're in Georgia. So we're in Georgia already, baby doll. We're in Georgia. I created a plan for a veteran. I think he was Air Force for Georgia. I forgot the name. It was in rural Georgia. Oh my God. And the plan I created for his land, for him to move from the land to transitional housing to permanent housing, transitional to permanent on the same land. Don't play. And before that, because he has land, I designed a program. I mean, it was just, I ain't gonna tell you all my secrets. You got to be in my group. But he was like, Yvette, nice. So yeah, I love doing something like that, because we need everything. Veterans can utilize the services, your professional services, and not only utilizing your professional services, but that is a category under sam.gov, because where you need to be is, I'm not going to say where you need to be, but where the money is in veterans, is in contracting. So, hey, Missy Lane. Hi, Missy Vet. I didn't receive my email from you. I purchased the book. I would really love to attend the workshop. Missy Lane, email me so that I can email you, because I just sent out an email today. Also, go look in your spam. That's another place. Because if you send me your email, then you're on my email list and I emailed you. But I want you to get this because I don't want you to miss out. Awesome. Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Mike Jones. We'll buy your books. Yay, you're going to buy your books, your education, but yeah, buy my books. And let's get educated. Man, this is so wonderful. I love this veterans community. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, TikTok. Tarita, what are you about to do now? You said you're about to do something. So I am champion. Go to my bio and order the books. Tell me about your private group. Oh yeah, that's where you get more juice. So I like to be in a room with like-minded people. So those who buy my books, it's like going to school. And that's what I was saying. I might create one of those school platforms because that's exactly, let me write that down because I'm still going to go ahead and do that because these videos like this, I know y'all can hear me, but you're not really getting what's in these publications. You're not getting because I'm not telling you what's in it's too much. And it depends on where you want to go with your business. And this not even all of them. Where are you starting at? You know what's so every book has a starting point to help you get to that point and then go to the next point. Housing homeless veterans is not linear. It's not a straight line. It's not that type of business. I can talk about it all day, but your head will spin around the block. So read a book and then we can have conversations. We're going to be in school. You're going to be able to ask questions. We're going to be able to solve your problems, your situations as a provider. As a provider, and also solve the situations. Hold on, I got to move this puzzle. Solve the situations of a homeless veteran. Every day, let me reach out a letter. Hold on. I have letters in my books too from various in this book is appendix 2, letters of reference and recommendation. And this is what some of my investors wrote to me. And this is back in 2015. This letter serves to recommend Yvette Jones. She has worked with us over a year at this point and has brought many great and qualified tenants. Yvette is one of the best agents I have ever met. She is skilled at selling the units, great at managing her time, and incredibly organized. She is persistent without being annoying, and above all, she gets results. Yvette sets the bar high for other leasing agents. Obviously, leasing is a highly competitive field. Each time our company sets a target or held a contest, we knew Yvette would be the agent to beat. She was always happy to let us know in on her secrets or ways to help lease up the units. Now, I love this company right here. They were called Base. This was back in 2015. So I house a lot of homeless veterans. And back then, and still today, veterans receive what's called a Section 8 voucher, HUD VASH. And that's all they get. They move into these apartments with the black plastic bags that they had when they came out of that transitional unit or out of their car or off the street. Especially when Housing First is still around, but this is when it was real big. And I'm like, listen, I can move these units much faster, but we need beds, we need blankets, and we need covers. So they're like, that's all we got to do. I'm like, look, you give me all of what I don't know how many units they had. The next property owner who wrote me a letter, they had our firm has managed over 4,000 rental units across Chicago, and they would give those to me. So, and every unit now, when I market their units, they have beds, they have a warm blanket, they'll have a box with dishes to set up their kitchen. They didn't set up the whole house, but they would do that. So you have to think, whatever stage you're in, um, how are you going to solve somebody's problem? Here's one. This is from Senior Suites here in Chicago. And this letter was written in 2015, Monday, February 16th, 2015, to whom it may concern. Please note that this serves as a professional letter of recommendation for Yvette Jones. I would highly recommend her without any reservation. Her motto is serving our homeless with love, compassion, and understanding. And I have seen her demonstrate this personally over the past 3 years. So that was 2015, but it was 2012 when I started working with Senior Suites of Chicago as a realtor. When I tell you, veterans have resources, and veterans can use those resources to go almost anywhere. Anywhere. I've housed homeless veterans in condos downtown Chicago. And that case study is also in this social worker case manager book. Downtown Chicago with the HUD-VASH voucher, previous resident in a U-Haul facility. It took 11 months but before he met me, he was in that facility in the U-Haul for 11 months. And the letter is also in that book from his social worker. If you know where veterans are coming from, and you know what veterans need, and you know how to put these components together, then you could house homeless veterans. Hold on. No furniture. They have nothing. They didn't have anything except plastic bags. And I had taken one of my friends. I always, tear up when I think about that, because I had a suitcase. When I moved into my apartment, I had one suitcase, and I was just throwing stuff in that one suitcase. But when I got to emptying out that suitcase on the couch that was in that studio apartment above the laundromat, my first studio after homelessness, I started pulling clothes out and everything was cut up. So I moved into a studio apartment with literally nothing. But at least, the veterans, they would move into their apartments with bags of clothes but yeah, that's it. So I took one of my friends with me, and all right, Tarita, I see you. And she said, Yvette, something needs to be done about this. This was Camille. Something needs to be done about this. Why are you letting them move in with no furniture? I'm like, Camille, my head is already spinning. I got like 10 move-ins this week. And how am I supposed to coordinate furniture and furnishings? I'm only one person. Why don't you do it? So she said, okay, I will. And soon after that, I was the vice chairman of the Veterans Commission in the Village of Park Forest, and she was on the commission. And we did a veteran-wide yard sale, and everybody was instructed to bring whatever they didn't sell. Good, Tarita. Whatever they didn't sell to one central location. And I'm like, look, this stuff can't you look, but the veterans have to come get it. That was the only thing. So and this was so wrong. I'm like, are you serious? You actually did that? I sent an email about it. But one social worker came with a van and took one TV. One TV. I said, does this veteran need anything else? Well, all he said was he needed a TV. Well, you want to take some other stuff, because I'm sure another social worker has a veteran who needs something, and we got to get rid of all this stuff. So after that, we took U-Haul to another organization, and they used it for other veterans in Joliet. And then we opened through the commission, Village of Park Forest Commission. We opened a store where veterans can come and get whatever it is they needed out of that store for free. Because we were part of the commission, so we didn't pay rent where they had us. Huh. It's a shame. It's a shame what happens. Oh, let me see. Treat the whole, yes, yeah, treat the whole person's needs. Yes. And that can be done. We're veterans. We get benefits, but we have to get service connected. And that's one of our main benefits. So even you get service connected, you get 10%. Go to the doctor. Go get all of your checkups. Go get your acupuncture. Go get your chiropractic services. Go get your mental health services. Go get everything you qualify for. Look in this book and pick something. Pick it and go. I emailed my doctor today in that secure thing, and I told her what I needed. And her secretary, nurse, called me and said, Miss Jones, can I verify this and that? And we have an opening tomorrow at 1. I said, I'll take it. Go get your benefits. There's no reason why we have homeless veterans when we have all of this money in the community. The problem is you're not taking time to learn how to help these veterans. That's all it is. Because they could be housed so many different type of ways. You could be a housing locator for agencies. You can be a housing provider for these agencies. I mean, you could be transportation for these veterans. You could be, I created a veterans village. I've created several veterans villages, but I created a veterans village that I'm like, one day, and I'm hoping real soon, because now I'm in more public spaces where more government contractors who are builders, residential and commercial builders, who are service providers, who can see the work that I'm doing. And we create this veterans village. Oh, it's so sweet. I presented this veterans village to the village of, not Hazel Crest. I got to meet with Hazel Crest. The village of, I forgot the village, Riverdale. And he said, you can have this spot right here to build it on. I'm like, oh. So I'm talking to my investors who said, yeah, that, yeah, we want to do it. We want to do it. All right, okay. So now we have to get the money up. I mean, everybody went quiet. I can create the village, but we still need other people and places to do things. What's your profession? What's your profession? And how can we bring all this together to benefit the group who we're so concerned with, and that's our homeless veterans? Because it's not just a money grab. It's not, but you can make a lot of money doing good. I want to thank y'all for being here. I'm going to get off because I have to go through my master class for tomorrow. And if you want the information, then I'll send it to you. So let me know, email me or send me a DM that you want the link to my masterclass. And if you are in my group already, then you get a special link. If you are not in my group already, then you get another link, but it'll still be a link to the masterclass. I'm so excited about this. I'm just giving away all. It feels like I'm about to give birth. This is so much information I'm sharing that I'm excited too. Thanks, Tarita. Yeah, it's exhausting, but it's doable. But y'all gonna have to take baby steps. So these big grandiose questions, how can I quickly get started? You be quicker. I don't know. I don't know, but this ain't it. There's no quickly about this. I have had, what's this, 2025? Since 2022, I think I've had, I have had um, federal, state, and local certifications for like in the book. Oh, did you get the book? They should, yeah, my contact. Which book did you get? My contact information should be in the book. Yeah, my email address is in the book. It's on my copyright pages. Yeah, two email addresses. It's in the books because you have to be able to get in touch with me. Yeah, and then if you scan that QR code, you'll scan to my website, I believe. Oh, let me finish write this down because master classes, workshops. I really need to do another veterans housing and home buying workshop. I do that workshop from this book, and I invite the professionals who I would have actually come to the workshop to present on the live. Okay, so master class. I'll do one master class a month. Oh, I could do a lot of master classes, and then we can do some workshops that would consist of the transitional housing, and then we can do HUD VASH. Ooh, I like it. And GPD, grant per diem. That goes up here with transitional, and sometimes it's also permanence. Okay, and then that's all I do is housing. Oh, then we could do for realtors. We could do a. I could do. I gotta finish my master class for realtors, and then I'll do some workshops because it's really a mind shift. That's all it is. Everybody, because we say, I just signed up for an email list. Okay. Oh, good. I'm excited. Oh, all y'all excited over here. All right, all right. Me too. I'm excited to share. And I like to share in the private group, especially when um, um, I know everybody's on the same page. And on the same page meaning you done read the book, and now we can talk about strategy. We can talk about who did what well, who found another door that can open for you in your state. Really, so I've got the blueprint, but together we build on that foundation because we're all different. We're all in all these different states, but it's the same foundation. But where do you go to find your SSVF organizations and funding? And where do you go, or in Texas, for instance, she's in oh shoot, what part of Texas? I keep forgetting. Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth. And she said, Yvette, on this list that I have from, I think, well, we're working on it from last year. She said, only one or two might have gotten back, but it didn't pan out to anything. So doing more research, because you have to get into the community. This is not a community where you're going to be emailing people and writing letters and phone calls. And no, you have to go to people's doors, and then you have to find the right person to talk to. It's not a passive business. And then while setting yourself up to eventually receive um, these grants and contracts, it's even more work. But is it worth it? Let me ask y'all this when I tell y'all this first, okay? All right, so I see we got somebody from Georgia. We got somebody from GA over there. So let's go to Georgia and see if the money is worth starting your veterans in your veterans housing and shared housing and setting it up the way I teach you how to do it in the book, so that you can position yourself for some of this money in these contracts, in these grants. So Georgia, changing homelessness. And I want you to write this down, changing homelessness, because you need to research these organizations. Everybody, whatever state you're in, you need to research these organizations. So when you're in my group, you're going to get this list, and you need to open this list and grab these organizations and start going to their websites and researching these organizations. So as you're thinking about what type of shared housing you want to do, you already know who has the money to pay for what. And that's how you design the program, so that you can tap into the funding that's already in the community. And that way your referrals will come from the resources that have the money. So here's one for Georgia, changing homelessness. They received a grant for $15,604,329. So is that worth learning it the right way to set yourself up to be able to receive grants and funding like this when you get there? Because you don't just jump into it. I want the money. Nope. So here's another one. Here's a smaller organization, Project Community Connections. They received over $2 million for their program, because it's not just housing. And once you learn how to align your program with the money, that's when you start getting the money and getting the residents, because now you have a relationship. They know you, you know them. And that's how I've been able to stay in the community for so long, because I cultivated relationships by going in the community. I was at the VA so much. Well, not inside the VA, but when I was at the VA, I was there almost every day. So then when they opened the CRRC, they gave me a cubicle. They said, Yvette, this is the CRRC right here, Jesse Brown, CRRC. That's me. Yvette, would you like to join the rest of the organizations at the CRRC? I'm like, yeah, the hell? Of course. Who else is here housing homeless veterans? Did you offer anybody else a seat at the table? Just me? Okay, then let me pull myself up. So, and then I went over to, you're welcome. And then I went over to, is this it? Yep, the vet centers right here. The vet centers. I was at the Forest Park Vet Center in Forest Park, Illinois for 13 years and conducted 200 workshops and housing fairs. in 13 years. All documented. All documented. I got a letter in the book, one of these books, from the Vet Center director. I think it's in this book. So when I say you have to be, this is not a lazy business. No, this was the first. No, this was the second resource fair I did at Forest Park Vet Center. Y'all can't see that over here. And this was dated Thursday, October 17th, 2013. And then this was right here, a list of dates. Y'all can't see it right here, a list of dates at the vet centers. So when I say, y'all say, oh, this was the last one, March 20th, 2025, at the same vet center where I was for 13 years as a volunteer, as a veteran, and as an advocate. So again, okay, good. Again, and I just can't say this enough because I did have one young lady tell me, well, Yvette, I'm just sending out emails. What's that supposed to do? They don't know you. That's like somebody just behind the keyboard telling you off, telling you to do whatever. I'm like, they don't know you. Yeah. Where's the letter from the vet center? What book is that in? So let me get off because I gotta go through my where is that? I wonder if it's in the other book. Keep going. I like these books though. I like these books. Man, oh man, oh man. I say thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Here's a letter I got from another director right here. And this was from the vet center in Chicago Heights on October 12, 2017. Reference Miss Jones, to whom it may concern. My name is Renee Dickerson. She's Dr. Renee Dickerson now, the director of the Chicago Heights Vet Center. The CHVC is a part of the Department of Veteran Affairs under the Readjustment Counseling Services. We provide clinical and supportive services to the men and women who honorably served in the military and to their families. It is with great pleasure that I write this letter for Ms. Jones, whom I have known since 2013. She has consistently displayed a high degree of competence, integrity, and professional responsibility. She has proven herself to be a very kind and skillful professional who has helped a countless number of the homeless men and women that I have referred to her. I can fully attest to that fact that Miss Jones is motivated and is highly focused individual. If there is one word I could use to describe her, it would be caring. If there are any questions, please feel free to contact me. And I've got several letters like this in my books. Let me see. What you say, Miss Liddy? What's next for Veterans Housing Advocacy in 2025? Bradley, for you to get the books and learn, and then you can be our next level. We can put you on the map too as an advocate. Respect to everyone involved in this work. Thank you, Antone. I don't even know how to say your name. I apologize. All right, so Amazing Grace. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so I'm getting ready to go. I've been on an hour, 13 minutes. Ciao for now. Oh, wait a second. I will not be on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. because I'm going to take that day and go through my whole presentation. Masterclass, 90 minutes talking. But it is in order, and I appreciate it. So, ciao for now. I hope so. You just signed up. Let me go see if I can find you. This is powerful. Thanks for going live. Oh, it is my pleasure. So I won't be here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock because I want to get myself together And then I go see my doctor at 1. My benefits, federal benefits. Get your benefits book. Get your benefits book.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.